أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So that's why before, when we were talking about off-grid living, we were talking about understanding nature's patterns, ecosystems, systems thinking, principles of harmony, ecological literacy. Eventually, as we explore R1, the rewiring, this will begin to all connect as one, and it will help us to go through this process. So in our own time and our own way, that we can begin to rewire ourselves, because there's no point going on to R2 and R3 unless we do this. And this is why I've changed the sort of structure of this movement, and it's still a movement as far as I'm concerned. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you all da'is using this process, because I still would want you to become the hub leaders and to attract the masses. And we haven't got time to go into why I decided to call you hub leaders, because it's connected to the tree. And then we go to Surah Ibrahim, the tree that represents a believer. And then I sent you out that diagram, how science now understands how the trees communicate through the roots. And I sent you the diagram of these mother trees and the hubs. And so I took that as an example of how I wanted this movement then to go forward. But I've moved away slightly from the off-grid aspect, because I can't tell you what to do, but I really don't think that any of us are in the position to even think about off-grid living. There are some in the group, alhamdulillah, the brother that moved to New Mexico, Allah Akbar, alhamdulillah. Allah will open doors for some, but all of us at some stage, to make, even if we are doing the off-grid living, to make that a true success, we have to go through this rewiring. And if anyone says I'm rewired, well, I will question that. Because if you look at the off-grid living, as I've said to you before, the research is showing that over 90% of the off-grid eco-village, intentional villages fail because of the human conflict. It's not whether it's the farming and the building and all this, it's because of the human conflict. Now that might be different if it's just a single family going off-grid, but if you're looking at a communal off-grid living, well, then we need to look at this research, which is quite sort of scary. So that's why I changed the title. So I called it Hearts See. We haven't even touched hearts, because to understand Islamic contemplation and for us to really go through the rewiring, we haven't got to use these eyes, we've got to use the heart. And the lessons are very clear there in the Quran. And we will cover that as we begin to explore mindfulness and then the Islamic concept of mindfulness. And that then connects that to the Islamic contemplation. Then we will begin to understand why Allah SWT wa ta'ala has mentioned all of these ayat regarding nature. So it's called Heart See. And as I said to you, that so many people now are saying that we are facing so many predicaments. It's a crisis. Is it an economic? Is it a social? Is it a political? It's a crisis of the perception of how we see the world. So I called it Hearts See. The true hearts see. And so somewhere along the line, we're going to be looking at who is the true ulama. There are many ulama, many scholars today. They're on YouTube, Google them. But what is the Quranic understanding of ulama? We haven't got time to go through this. So hearts see, only those hearts that have been transformed and purified who will be able to see. And see also means that we need to transform our social way, our economic way, and our ecological way. So it's about seeing with eyes and the heart, transforming the heart, purifying the heart, and then connecting. Because as the movement, inshallah ta'ala, develops, we've got to make social change, we've got to make economic change, and we've got to make ecological change, the cultivation of the land. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان